Uganda as a country has over 45 million people. And if you look at the current situation now, and the Ministry of Energy, it's only 23% that are connected to the grid. So our communities, the rural communities, don't access that kind of energy. And the only possibility we can do is to harness the sun.
What is sustainable energy and how can it transform rural communities? This is Mbata in Western Uganda. Due to its remote location, it doesn't have access to electricity. But with the collaboration between Smart Villages Research Group from the UK and Kiima Foods from Uganda, Mbata Village is now beginning to feel the power of sustainable energy through a project that is dubbed Smart Agri-Centres.
This project is at its core about energy access, and it's about energy access for agricultural communities. This energy access solution is intended to be a sustainable way to allow people to have power not just for lighting and phone charging, but to start their own businesses, to earn income, and eventually to be able to pay back the cost of that power in a sustainable way. When I talk about sustainability and about paying back the cost of the power, I'm talking about a solution which will enable people to use enough electricity to be able to earn enough money to be able to pay back the cost of that power. There's multiple different models for energy access. There's traditional mini-grids, there's extending the national grid, and the solar home systems. But all of these have different problems which affect the communities that they're trying to access. The cost of connection for mini-grids and for the national grid is very high. And in very remote locations like this, it's very unlikely that the national grid will actually reach here for many years. And solar home systems, they have a different problem in that they don't produce enough power generally for people to start their own businesses. By having access to the Smart Agri-Centre, people in agricultural communities have access to post-harvest processing. They have access to things like milling machines, things like cold storage, and that increases the value of the produce that they have to sell. And therefore, they get much higher incomes, and they are then able to pay us back through that, rather than through just paying us back for the cost of the power, which would be a traditional mini-grid model.
Smallholder farmers in Uganda face up to 30% of post-harvest losses due to poor storage and long distances to markets. The Smart Agri-Centre has provided storage and bulking solutions to farmers in Mbata.
Twabarabona ebyalya byethu ebintu tukabebeka omusisa omu bigunia twabeteka mu bigunia naribyeka nukubitu kubyabora ebyalya nero tukatwabara twabitekaniza ndeke twimi twabara twabyoye twatsukere bikilininga ndeke byahenia nero twabetwara omu cold room naribyabyamu tukalenderera akatale akuwene.
There is time saved from the farmers. The buyers are receiving produce in large volume, and then we are able to save on what would be wasted during transportation to the bigger markets. And then the facility itself is not only doing the cold storage. There are other services around the facility, including milling, welding, and supporting the young people in terms of employment.
Amasanyarazi atiasa nabyo ningaulesha sola nyisa inaulia no radio bakachejinga beto amasanyarazi asirire hati anabereleta adapter zisikakolesa amasanyarazi nabereleta emizindalo ebangenatasa chejinga n'ekindi kigwe kinarangiremo amasanyarazi atiasa nabinga kingaruba beto hati sayino bero beno ngana kinga hulete kundi amasanyarazi akabinyana na bakastome bane mwasa okwechunga yowandeke ngayowandeke kundi chipende chetu kikabicha makurakurana esa Mbata iri kuyenda kabyo ku modern chichikale ke warangera na ingana muyenda ngalete bintu biringe ebi biwene bikakolesa amasanyarazi.
The Smart Agri-Centre has also transformed the lives of women. Apart from farming, they are now able to add a new revenue stream by starting their own businesses.
Erirwe nyuma nabisindu korandeke sindu tungabusendi jasinga tunga mundu muwuma atinganya nzeru koro muzurishya indibabu ya amasanyarazi ngende yawo hayi nerya saheno ngayowa nganauti okubusende sinanga kisyanzara ngabyana maburo weri ulyanga chiywiri owenanga kaso we hotkombu inamukora inafunga kasende ngayowa ngali nobutseme bunene hawerimba amasanyarazi nabiri tunga kasende akasende nganawite ngalengekanaya erikora nebindu bindu ngatusakanya yachi esaluni yayi.
The technical components of this Smart Agri-Centre are that it has 45 kilowatt peak of solar panels on the roof, it's got 3 8.8 kilowatt inverters, and it's got over 40 kilowatt hours of battery storage, specifically lithium-ion batteries. Those batteries are a really key component because they enable people to work in their gardens during the day, but there is still power at night for them to come to the Agri-Centre, come to the trading centre, and do the activities which use power, which previously they couldn't do because there was no power at night. We can consistently generate over 100 kilowatt hours of energy every day, and that is being used for multiple different businesses within the Agri-Centre. It's being used for security lighting to keep people safe, it's being used for schools, it's being used for health centres, to run antenatal clinics and scanning, and for anything else that the community prioritised as a service.
Okwalwandurisya yinje yanga kolera namabere bobamu ebindu bine muhibesyaho amakawai na ingane mubyaho but nabinga kolera wasiwanabo enu yabere asesaka namatokere ku application bomanyire ere kolera hano nga saving transport yabi eyerendana nesubule wasiwanabo nerikama insendiyo ingabe ikabe iyendanduke nematukiraku kundi singachiyendayo alunga tekesese mu transport kanyitwalenga ya materials na bataka chabere bayamba aho abe transport yakakolesa yakayawule wasiwana barui ninge rwimi obarugenda bar akarwana na muhekere weka workshop ya yiyi yamabirinwa teacher kandi nganza SS kwina munywa teachers nayi ngendi wa teacher abana abandi ngo nibo wa teacher bakinde soma nabo babyaho nginje SS kwina mutokeri nywa teacher nabo bawatikiwa.
Amasanyalaze we solar abera tali asatwala tuite kitebo okwa masukuru omwabyalo musamusa abana ibakolesa obutara obwe parafini obwabukahisya manyumba obwabukale tromuchi owabyakalwa lyabana bameso nabandi kunde parafini kaula wesha sente ebakabisi baletoka ebakahamba esiseke esumiri ebasiboha babirisiboha nabataka ko mulero inishubahemba inishubasomerako babirituheria elite okwa sukuru eikatuwatikaya eri conductinga esya evening preps nesya morning preps chino chabirileka abana ebasatungamaha awerisoma kusangwa obutuko bunene bakabunza nabahalimu omwabitabu byabo.
The beauty of this solution is that it's scalable. There are so many people who are employed in agriculture and who need access to post-harvest processing and to the other services that this Smart Agri-Centre provides to build up their livelihoods, to earn more income and to improve their lives for themselves and their families.
We've seen communities raise income at household level, at individual level, based on this kind of facility. And right now we've seen cooperation of government. We see government actually coming up with strategies to extend this kind of projects to other communities. And we are very hopeful that if this is done, then we shall be transforming communities.
This is an additional effort to what the government is already doing. But it comes with a special flavor. They have done serious value addition in the field of energy for rural transformation and specifically clean energy. And our plan now is to link this to the parish development model. And we'll see how to decentralize further this and add value to what the local government is working on, so that we have a modular district.
It's such an incredible feeling now to see the changes that have happened here. I've seen so many changes for different groups within the community. There's the youth, they can work where before they couldn't get jobs. And I've seen such an incredible change as well for the women in this community. I want to see the future and more changes that are going to come from having this Agri-Centre in place, and also to see this Smart Agri-Centre not just here in Mbata, but in multiple other communities throughout Uganda.